Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. It is Thursday morning, as always, a coffee kind of morning. Hope everyone's doing well. I wanted to continue my look at the 80s. This time, 10 great albums from 1987. Still rocking it out. Some great stuff released in that year. And that's what I want to show you. I picked 10 out of what I had in my collection. Anyway, there's there's hundreds of different albums released in that year, but I chose 10 of what I actually had in my collection. So before I get into everything else, please hit the like and subscribe button below. Thank you to all that have liked and subscribed so far. I greatly appreciate it. I want to continue to put great content out there to be informative and to show you guys some great bands and artists that I have in my collection. It's because of you guys, your likes, your subscriptions, your wonderful comments that keep me going, keep me motivated to do this kind of thing, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. So right off the bat, we'll start off with a rocker. This is Whitesnake, self-titled album. Fantastic album. March 1987. Seventh album by the band. Co-written between David Coverdale and guitarist John Sykes. A lot of great glam rock, metal rock on this one for sure. Hugely successful album. Still of the Night and Here I Go Again. Is This Love? Give Me All Your Love. Some big songs off of this one. 8 times platinum. Just huge stuff. Really good album. I love Whitesnake. I love this is on Geffen Records. I loved David Coverdale's time in Deep Purple, but I think he's better in Whitesnake for sure. But fantastic album. Self-titled Whitesnake. 7th album, as I said, released in 1987 of March. Then we go from there to this chart topper, this huge album for these guys. This is the Joshua Tree by U2. Fantastic album by these guys. Classic U2 at its best. It's on, what label is this on? Island label. 8th album by the band, released March 9th, 1987. It's got a harder edge sound than their previous stuff. And so many great songs off this album. So many great songs. With or Without You, I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, When the Streets Have No Name, In God's Country, One Tree Hill. I mean, it just, every song on here is amazing. One of the best-selling albums of all time in over 20 countries. Just hugely successful album for these guys in U2. Check this out for sure. Awesome stuff. We go from there to one of my favorite bands. This is Deep Purple, I'm in the House of Blue Light. Just found this one recently out in the wild. Return of the Mark II lineup. Deep Purple's had so many lineup changes. It's on the Blue Polydor label, which is cool. 12th album by these guys, as far as the band Deep Purple. And the second album of the reformed Mark II version, and the 6th album with that original lineup of Mark II. So Mark II, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there was a Mark I version with Nick Simper and Rod Evans. Rod Evans on lead vocals, Nick Simper on bass. That was the Mark I version. Of course, you had John Lord, Ian Gillan, Ian Pace, and of course the famous Ritchie Blackmore. Mark II version is Ian Gillan on vocals, Ritchie Blackmore on guitars, Roger Glover on bass, John Lord on keyboards, and Ian Pace on drums. Ian Pace, the only remaining member of the band, or the original member of the band. So this is the 6th album of that lineup. It's a great album. It really, really is a good album. Um, uh, Bad Attitude, Unwritten Law, Call of the Wild, Black and White, just great, great stuff. Um, and from one of my favorite bands, one of my favorite lineups as well. I mean, there's the Mark III version with David Coverdale, which I just showed you. Um, Steve Morse came later to replace Ritchie Blackmore. I mean, there's so many different lineup changes. Um, just remarkable stuff. But yeah, this is a good album. Happy to find this one. Happy to find this one. Next, we have one of my favorite albums, for sure. Huge album for this guy. This is Robbie Robertson's self-titled album. What a classic album this is. Of course, Robbie Robertson from the band. Huge player. He's been playing since like he's 14, 15 years old with Ronnie Hawkins, and then they formed the band. They backed up Bob Dylan, and there's a whole story behind the band. So, solo debut album released in 1987. Won the Canadian Juno Awards for Album of the Year in 1989. And Robertson and Daniel Lanois, who co-produced the album with Robbie Robertson, won Producer of the Year in that same year. Rick Danko and Garth Hudson are both on the album. Bob Dylan's on it. Tony Levins. Daniel Lanois plays on it as well. Garth Hudson, Larry Klein, Bono, The Edge, Adam Clayton, Larry Mullins Jr., Rick Danko. They all appear on this album. It's just huge, huge stuff. Sweet Fire of Love is a duet with Bono. Testify features U2 on it. Fallen Angels, a testament to Richard Manuel. On this one, Richard Manuel, a huge member of the band, unfortunately committed suicide. Just a tragic story on that one. Overall, it's a fantastic album. I love Somewhere Down the Crazy River and Showdown, two big singles off of this album. It's just wonderful, wonderful stuff. If you don't have this one, definitely get it. You'll be pleasantly surprised. And remarkable album. Remarkable album. And a ton of huge stars on that one. So we go from that to a cool band from Scotland. The Silencers, A Letter from St. Paul. This is a really good album. Really, really good album. Happy to find this one. Pop rock, Celtic rock. This is on the RCA, white RCA label. So we got that one on one side and this on the other. 1987 release. Painted Moon, the single off of it, was huge. I Can't Cry, Bullets and Blue Eyes, Blue Desire. Really, really good upbeat album. It's these guys are really good. You got that Celtic beat to it. You got the pop rock, almost post-punk sound of these guys. You can tell that from the cover that these guys are a cool rockin' band. The Silencers, awesome stuff. 1987 release. This hugely successful album here, In Excess and Kicks, or Kick, sorry. I always want to say Kicks, but it's Kick. Hugely, hugely successful album from In Excess. It's on the Atlantic label there. So we got that on one side. And you got the Atlantic label on the other, which is cool. Yeah. Australian rock band, October 12th, 1987 release. No less than, what have we got, 6 singles off of this one. You got I Need You Tonight, Devil Inside, New Sensation, Never Tear Us Apart, Mystify. Most successful album by this band. Number 3 on the charts. Just huge, huge stuff. Just love this album. It's got such a great beat. Michael Hudson, tragic end to that story there, but he was a fantastic performer. This is so good, so good. Next to a guy I've seen a number of times. Proud to have him as a Canadian artist, international artist really. This is Bryan Adams, Into the Fire. Fantastic album by Bryan Adams. Perhaps not as successful as Cuts Like a Knife, but he didn't really care. It sold like 2 or 3 million. Cuts Like a Knife sold like 12 million, I think. This one a little less. But this is on the A&M label. This one 2 or 3 million, pretty successful in my books for sure. 5th album by Bryan Adams, March 30th, 1987. Hit number 7 on the Billboard 200 in the US. 6 singles off of this one as well. You get The Heat of the Night, Hearts on Fire, Victim of Love, Only the Strong Survive, Into the Fire, and Another Day. This guy's a hit maker for sure. This guy's an international star, hit maker, fantastic stuff. Next, again, a great band. I picked up a lot of their stuff in the last few months, especially this one here. This is Heart and Bad Animals. This is a rockin' album. These guys can rock it out when they want to. Of course, you got the famous Wilson sisters, Ann and Nancy. Beautiful sisters. Yeah, this is on the Capitol label. Cool looking Capitol label. The 9th album by this great band. Hit number 2 on the Billboard 200. Triple platinum selling album. You got Alone. Who Will You Run To? There's The Girl, I Want You So Bad, some of the big singles off of this one. Apparently the name came from, Bad Animals came from Ann Wilson trying to bring a dog into a hotel, and the dog was banned or something. They didn't allow animals, and that's how the name of the album came about. But still a great album by Heart. Love these guys. Another great find recently. This is Bones and Flowers by the Screaming Tribesmen. Another great Australian rock band. Short-lived, unfortunately. They only released 3 albums. This is an analog pressing of this one. Gatefolds on beautiful white vinyl or clear vinyl. Sounds really good. Really good. These guys are from Brisbane, I think it is. Again, this is their 1987 release. A kind of indie rock, garage rock, hard rock combination, some pop rock mixed in. I've Got a Feeling and Chemistry of Love, 2 big singles off of this one. Yeah, this is their first American release as well. And really good stuff. Really good stuff. Check these guys out. And finally, this is a fantastic album, in my opinion anyway. This is Momentary Lapse of Reason by Pink Floyd. 13th album by Pink Floyd, released September 1987. Recorded on David Gilmour's houseboat. Can you imagine the size of the houseboat to have this recorded on there? You got Learning to Fly, Terminal Frost, and The Turning Away. I love that song. On the Turning Away, sorry. One Slip. Just fantastic stuff. It's mainly a David Gilmour project, kind of answering to Roger Waters' Final Cut. This actually outsold the Final Cut, which is understandable because it's a better album in my opinion. It's got David Gilmour, Nick Mason, and Richard Wright on there. I love Learning to Fly. The classic guitar work of David Gilmour. On the Turning Away, anthem style song for sure, and the live video of that is just outstanding. It's when he just breaks away and plays this awesome lead vocals. And Terminal Frost, Slow and Haunting, just so many great tracks off of this one. Really, really good stuff. So there you have it, guys. There's some great albums from 1987. Hope you enjoy. I'll be back again probably on Saturday with the continuation of the 80s and whatever else happens. Take care, guys. Love you all. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.